Hello. Thank you so much for downloading this freebie on how to uncover your zone of genius in order to create a business or an offering to support a business you already have. My name is Lindsay Dollinger. I am a business coach for women who are working full time and want to build and grow their own dream business. For whatever reason, I don't really care your reason, freedom of time, money, location, because you want to, because you have all this creativity and you just want to make more money. That's okay. So, one of the biggest things that I get asked is, how do I know what I could even do? Like, I don't even know what I could make money off of. And so, that is the worksheet that I've provided with you. So, I'm just going to go down through it super quickly, explain kind of my thoughts on it, walk you through it. And hopefully, by the end of this, you will have, I don't know, 10, 20 ideas on different things that you could either make as a business yourself or create so that you can add those to a product suite that you already have. So, first thing, I have some questions for you. And I encourage you to take some time, look through these questions and journal them out. Like, this doesn't have to be something that you just sit down and do in 5 minutes and, like, boom, you have created the most perfect business ever. The biggest thing with growing a business that I have found is that it takes time. You are going to, start with your basics. You're going to start doing one thing and then you're going to have another idea and you're going to want to pivot. And, maybe your passions change, your purpose change, other things happen in your life and you might have to take a pause and then you add things like what I'm basically saying is this is not a linear journey. So don't think that it has to be, and you don't have to have this all decided right now. But hopefully these questions are ones that you can start asking yourself, talking with people who know you really well, and start really uncovering and going really deep into the core of these questions. So the first one, what are your passions? So what do you like? And with any of these questions, let me preface this by saying, I don't want you to get in your head and say like, well, I can't put that down because I don't know how I would make money, or I would never be able to make money doing that. One of the things that I love is one of my mentors has shared that when she was asking herself this question, like, what am I going to do when I start a business? She wrote down reading because she loves reading. And they ended up making a book club. And the book club turned into a coaching program that they made. It was kind of like the basis for what they were doing. So if she hadn't have written that down, her business would not be maybe a business at all right now because of all the pivots and turns it has taken over the years. So write down anything that comes to mind with any of these questions. So the first question was, what are your passions? What do you love doing? If you had all the time and money in the world, there were no constraints, there was no one telling you what to do, what you can't do, etc., how would you spend your time? Like, what do you like doing? Next question, what do people ask you about? Whether it's your opinion or they need help doing XYZ, start really trying to be very aware of kind of like your zone of genius already of how people perceive you. You know, do they ask you? A lot of people ask myself and my sister about planning Disney trips or other trips around the world. Now, a lot of people ask me about business and how to build their business or different business types of questions. I also get a lot of questions just about trip planning in general because I also take students abroad and adults abroad on trips. I get questions about retreats. Um, I get questions about affording things because I'm traveling and I'm doing a lot of these things. And so, start kind of taking a mental note. What do people ask you about? What are you good at? So you know what you're good at. So, and just list these can be characteristics or these can be like literal skills that you have. I am very organized. I love planning. I love using Google Suites and Canva, for example. I don't know what else. Like I said, trip planning. I already mentioned those things that people ask me about. I am good at time management. I am good at, and you can put random things. I'm good at, or I used to be good at anyway. I don't know if I still am at showing animals at the fair. Okay, that's definitely not going to be my business, but include this here because you never know how you might be able to incorporate those sorts of things into what you're doing. What are you not good at? This one I don't want you to dwell on a ton right now, but these things that you list here probably are not going to be components of your business, at least at first. Like we can definitely get better at things or outsource different things. But if you write here social media, you're not good at social media, you're probably not going to be a social media manager out of the gate. Maybe eventually one day, you know, I don't feel like anyone is good at social media at first without, practice at it and things like that. But now I definitely feel like I could be, if I wanted to be, a social media manager, because that is something I'm good at. But 8 years ago, I would have put, I'm not good at social media. I'm not good at talking to people, etc. Okay. And now, last question here is, how could you possibly combine the above things? So looking at your passions, do you see any things that are overlapping, like things that you really like to do, plus things that people ask you about, plus things you're good at? Maybe one of the things that came up a lot is trip planning. So maybe being a travel advisor, a travel agent would be something that would be in your zone of genius. So another pro tip for these, if you're sitting here staring at these and you're not really sure what some of them are, talk to some of your friends. These could also be questions you could post on social media or in, like your family group chat or your best friend group chat, your college friend group chat, whatever, and say, if you could say 5 things that I know a ton about or I'm really good at, what would you say? Or what adjectives would you use to describe me? That's kind of one of my favorite things to ask. Or when you think of me, what are the things that you think light me up? So start asking people and start having these conversations. Again, I don't expect you in 5 minutes to figure out what your business is. Or maybe you do, and you've maybe subconsciously been thinking about it for a while and you already know what you're going to do. That's fabulous. So then write all of that down. Like I said, make a social media post and ask, see what they say, write down nouns and adjectives people say about you as well. And now, taking all of these things that you listed, I want you to do what I like to call a brain dump and list out things that immediately come to mind that you could create. And so I put a list of ideas down here that are ideas that you could monetize fairly simply: an ebook or even a regular book, a guide, coaching and consulting. So you could offer your services for trip planning, business growth, tutoring, all sorts of things. What are templates that you might create? So maybe you're one of those people that I mentioned that was super organized and you love all your spreadsheets. Do you have some spreadsheets that help you with your taxes, that help you organize your workday, whatever, that you could bundle up and sell? Could you create a course on how to can your garden produce, how to build the best garden, how to take care of your houseplants so they don't die, how to show animals at the fair? Any of those things, like I said, that you had mentioned, I bet you could make a course from them. Sell products you create. So if you are someone who loves actually creating things, so crafts, jewelry, t-shirts, the cups that are really popular, wood crafts, wood signs, etc., like actual physical products, you could put those down there too. And then, what are some workshops or boot camps or maybe a program if you love teaching and consulting, that sort of thing? What are you already good at? What are people already asking you about? You can make a workshop or a boot camp or a program about it. Another thing that I would encourage you to do, but don't spend too much time doing this, is do a little bit of research on social media, on Etsy, Google, and see what others are creating in those realms of your passions. So, what are people selling in regards to templates on Etsy? And just do like some quick scans. You never know what ideas you might come up with, because hardly any ideas at this point, let's be real, are completely unique. But if you are seeing like courses on something or templates on something or handicrafts that people are making and more than one person is making them, which is almost everything nowadays, most likely there is going to be a market for that. So could you do that same thing? Like, obviously you're not going to copy what they're doing, but you could create a course on canning your vegetables, and your course is going to be completely different than someone else's because you're the one doing it. You're the one giving the feedback. Now, I don't want you to like go out and buy those things and start comparing yourself and like getting in your head or anything like that. But if you see that someone else is already doing it, that's a good sign. That's not something that you want to be afraid of. Yeah, so that's kind of the down and dirty. Like, that's the simple way that you can go about uncovering your zone of genius so that you can create some business offerings, or maybe add some of these extra things that are feeling really aligned to your current business. Because we all know, if you are a business owner already, that it's a really good idea to start adding in multiple ways that people can work with you. get good at one first, focus and go all in on one, and then start adding in these other things because you never know who might want the ebook on how to create the jewelry that you are selling on Etsy, or the course walking them exactly through how to do those things. And a lot of these things too, and this is going to be my last thought that I leave you with, you could do any of these products or a lot of these products with one topic. So I gave the example of the canning your produce from a garden. You could create an ebook from that. You could create a guide. You could actually offer coaching with people if people wanted to do a Zoom call with you and you walk them through exactly how to do it. You could create templates and sell them for recipes, or like recipe cards that were really cute that you designed, or labels to print off to put on your canned goods. You could create a course on how to can products. I have on here affiliate products links. So you could have links and set up affiliate links through companies for the cans that you are canning with, or the jar lids, or the labels, or the pressure cooker, etc. Right? So you can share those as well. Sell products you create. So you could actually sell your canned goods. That gets a little tricky because you have to have the correct licenses for food, distributing food, but you could self-publish a book about it. And you could also do a workshop for people. So literally every single way on here that I have listed, you could do with that one idea. So you just get to decide then, once you have your idea of what you're good at and what you love doing, okay, where am I going to start? What seems like the lowest hanging fruit? And this might be where you go and ask your audience too. Okay, would you prefer a course on how to can products from your garden, or would you prefer an ebook? And start like asking people. But those are all things that we dive into in my mastermind and my one-on-one coaching. So if you have any questions about this moving forward, reach out to me, send me an email. And I would love to know what you have decided you are going to offer as a result of your zone of genius. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.